You are now tuned into the Stat Patters podcast where we debate NFL, NBA, fantasy sports, and entertainment. Today I'm going to give you my top 6 wide receiver rankings of the 2020 season. Subscribe to us here on YouTube at the Stat Patters podcast. Also check us out on Spotify. Also check us out on Twitter. And first, let's get into some NFL news. I'll also have all them links in the description so you could do that. Let's get into some NFL news. Jalen Ramsey will report to training camp even without a contract extension. Okay, Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky will both play with the starters during preseason. I think Mitch Trubisky will win that job. The Dolphins are not opposed to playing Tua in his rookie season. I'll love to watch him play if he's healthy. Jamal Adams, no traction, trade to the Cowboys. So they're not talking about it yet because I think the Jets want to trade him. Jamal Adams for safety. Devontae Freeman does not want to retire. He's denying reports saying he wanted to retire. Hunter Henry's fine with playing out this year with the franchise tag. If he could stay healthy, I wouldn't franchise tag him. Joe Flacco's neck not expected to be ready week 1. Chris Carson to still be the Seattle's primary running back in 2020. Russell Wilson would love to play with AB Antonio Brown. Man, that would be an amazing signing if they get Antonio Brown to go with Tyler Lockett and Russell Wilson. That would be amazing to watch with Chris Carson. Okay, let's get into the rankings. This is how I do my rankings. I do them. I'm gonna give you 6 to number 1. My 6th, 5th, and 4th I will consider tier 2 wide receivers, and my 3rd, 2nd, and 1st will be tier 1. Okay, let's get into it. My number 6 wide receiver that I have in my rankings will be Chris Godwin. He actually had to change his number because we all know Tom Brady wears number 12, and that's what he wore 12 in his rookie season. So now he's wearing number 14 or whatever. And we saw Chris Godwin. I actually had him on my fantasy league last year, and we saw he broke out last year to superstardom. He had over 1,300 yards, 9 touchdowns in just 14 games. He finished as a wide receiver too. And now you got Tom Brady. I know their offense is stacked. You got Mike Evans and O.J. Howard, and Rob Gronkowski is going to hurt a bit. But they got a great offensive mind, Coach Bruce Arians, and the way he used Larry Fitzgerald, I think his numbers will grow, and I think Mike Evans might take a little hit. But I like Chris Godwin as my number 6 wide receiver here in 2020. And I had him last year on my league, and I loved him, and I won my league last year. So I got him number 6. Okay, number 5, we're going to go with Devontae Adams from Green Bay Packers. Man, they didn't add no wide receivers in the draft to help him out, so the target should be there. And I think Aaron Rodgers still got it. He's gonna be a little motivated because they drafted Jordan Love, so he's gonna he got a little chip on his shoulder, and he's gonna have massive targets. Devontae Adams, and he was consistent. He's been consistent over the last few years. He played only 27 games over the last 2 years. He scored 16 plus PPR points in 23 of them. They didn't add a receiver, like I said, so he's the only other receiver who should be considered as close in drafts to Michael Thomas, because with the opportunity and all that's there. So I like Devontae Adams number 5 with my wide receiver rankings. All right, number 4, I'm gonna go with Julio Jones. Dang, first thing coming Julio Jones, you don't score touchdowns. Yeah, I know. And then Matt Ryan, I think he's fallen off a little bit, but I still got him number 4. Julio Jones is gonna be your safest wide receiver pick. He stays consistent. I had him in my league last year to go with Chris Godwin, and he helped me out. And I know the touchdowns hurt, but you have to go all the way back to 2013 to find out the last time he didn't finish as a top 8 wide receiver. And the only reason he didn't was because of injury. And without scoring a lot of touchdowns, they do have Calvin Ridley now, and I think he's going to be in for a bigger role. But you can't, like I said, you just can't find a safer option to finish a top 10 wide receiver like it's guaranteed Julio. That's why I have him number 4. And okay, let's get on to it. Now we're going to be moving into my tier 1 wide receivers. In number 3, I have speedy Tyreek Hill. He has the best quarterback. They have the best offense, and he has the most speed. And that's why I got him number 3. Where you got Patrick Mahomes, their second their other wide receivers should be better, Sammy Watkins and Hardman. So that should free him up a little bit. And the way Andy Reid uses him, that's why I have him number 3. I would understand if you would like to take Julio over Hill, because Hill's more of a risk and Julio's more a safer option. But either way you go with Julio and Hill, it don't matter. But me, I like to take risks. I'll take Tyreek Hill over Julio, just because he has the best quarterback and the best offense in Andy Reid. So yeah, I got Tyreek Hill number 3. All right, let's go on to number 2. And actually, I was looking at the Fantasy Pros rankings. They have him number 5, and this is who I'm talking about, Deandre Hopkins. Yeah, we all know he's on Arizona now. I can't believe Houston did that trade. It's crazy. But yeah, now he's on Arizona. I expect Kyler Murray to be better, more accurate. And they've been working out. I've been seeing some Instagram videos. They've been working out. D-Hop has the most talent. And they do have Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald still. And but you can't go wrong with D-Hop with number 2. You just can't go wrong. Kyler Murray's going to be better. And he's a top 5 wide receiver talent. To me, he's the number. To me, he might be the best receiver in the league with the most talent. But yeah, so that's what you can't go wrong with drafting D-Hop in that Arizona conference. They should be down a lot. Their defense is still horrible, so that's plenty of opportunity. Kyler Murray's going to be having to throw. When you have D-Hop, PPR, going to be a monster. Okay, let's get into my number 1 pick. Number 13, Michael Thomas. I got him going number 1. I think Drew Brees still got it. He's still going to get it there to him. Michael Thomas. The crazy thing about Michael Thomas' 2019 season was among the top 40 single-game performers throughout the season, he just had one of them. Yet, he still finished as the number 1 wide receiver fantasy receiver by a massive 67 half PPR points. You can't argue that with another wide receiver to finish number 1, and you can't find a safer option with the number 1 pick. That's why I have Michael Thomas number 1. All right, let's recap. I got Chris Godwin number 6, Devontae Adams number 5, Julio Jones number 4, Tyreek Hill number 3, DeAndre Hopkins number 2, Michael Thomas number 1. And okay, that's gonna do it today for today's podcast. I should be back in a couple of days, and I'll probably be giving you my top running back, my top 6 running back rankings for the 2020 fantasy season. Check out my rookie running backs that's already on my channel, and also check out my schedule prediction for the Denver Broncos. I'm Marcus with a K. If you want to win your fantasy league, listen to what I had to say. Subscribe to us, comment, subscribe, like the video. Tell me what you think. If you have any other receivers that I missed, or if you don't agree with me, comment. Tell me what you think. Check us out on Spotify. Follow us on Twitter. I'll have all the links down in the descriptions. This is the Stat Patterns Podcast. I'm Marcus with a K, and I'm OUT. Peace.